Hi guys. So real quick, I just wanted to kind of recap our physical properties that we have learned so far and remind you just kind of like what a physical property is and why we are learning it. So right now, my hair's crazy. Anyways, so we have been learning about the physical properties of different types of matter. And remember, we said that matter is anything and everything that takes up space. And we said that matter can come in three main physical states. And what we said that those were solid, liquid, or gas. So solids are types of matter, liquids are types of matter, and then gases are types of matter. So we said that pretty much anything and everything that takes up space is matter, but matter can come in three different types, and that's solid, liquid, and gas. Okay? And so physical state in itself is a physical property. Physical properties are how we describe matter. So if I were to describe this highlighter, I could say that it's kind of lightweight, it has a bright color, it's not very flexible, and it floats, it's not magnetic, it's smooth to the touch, but it's also kind of like hard if I were going to compare it to maybe like an eraser, which is kind of like a spongy, soft feeling. But anyways, when we're talking about properties, that's just the way that we would describe something or the characteristics of something. So, anything that we can observe with any of our five senses, so our sight, our smell, our taste, our touch, the way something can sound. I think I've covered all of them now. It's kind of hard. I should have counted as I went. Anyways, anything we can observe with our senses or our science tools would be considered a physical property. Okay. Some of the physical properties that we have talked about are whether or not something is magnetic. So we kind of talked about how we did different labs where we found some of the things that we know are not magnetic, and then some of the things that we know are magnetic, and the things that they have in common. So the things that we found were not magnetic would have been things made out of paper or fabric or wood or plastic. And then we said that things that are metal tend to usually be magnetic. So that would be one of our properties, is whether or not something is magnetic or not. Another physical property we talked about was temperature. So how hot or cold something is. And the way we test that is with a thermometer. So we talked about how there's two different types of temperature. We have our Celsius, which is used pretty much all around the world and in the science community. And then randomly in America, there is Fahrenheit, which is also a way that we measure temperature as well. But that's usually just in America. Because why not make things more difficult, right? Let's see here. The next physical property that we have learned about, or another one that we have learned about, would be mass. And we said that mass was the amount of matter in a material. So we could say how, not necessarily how heavy something is, but how much matter is in it. So how packed in those little molecules are, that would be mass. And we use a scale. We used the scale where you put something on one side and then the other side, and you can compare the masses using a scale. That's the tool that we would use for mass. And then we also talked about whether something sinks or floats in water. And that is the last physical property that we talked about. And that's basically the tool that we use for that is water. and we would just set the thing in the water or pour it in the water and see what happens. Does it sink or does it float? So a reminder that physical properties are just ways that we can describe different types of matter, and we use different tools to do that. So we're just going to kind of combine all of the different things that we have learned, and we are going to use them kind of at the same time moving forward, because I've given you different pieces of knowledge. Now we're going to put it together, and we are going to move forward using all of them. Okay?